It's Friday, March 22nd, 2019. It's time for your weekly technology, entertainment, and video game overload, dissecting the husk of the video game industry. This is the Noob Shelter, episode 16! Ow! Oh, boy! There we go. That's the one I wanted. Google enters the ring and broadcasting live from the south of Tacoma in the little suburb of Puyallup on the hill that is south, overlooking Mount Doom at Foresight Studios. For the time being, I'm Matt Fugitive, and joining me tonight is the man who has borrowed my gray goop and became the hero of my son, directly south of the studio up on the prestigious South Hill, also in Poo Poo Town, Washington. Fade to Black is with us. Mike, what's going on tonight? I just lost him. Check your volume. John, can you give me a mic check?
Hello.
Okay. Mike, your mic died. Oh, boy. Okay. And from somewhere up near Federalist Way, drooling over his new Sennheiser headset with his pulse on Anthem in the Freebird condo, Rythone joins us tonight. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good. Pretty good. Mike, are you back with us?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. What did you do?
Okay. I forgot to unmute my mic.
Oh,
it's that kind of Friday. I wish I had alcohol.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Where is it? And it starts. It was not my fault this time.
No, that wasn't a technical. That was just operator malfunction. You need to find something for that shit, because that's more so you than anything.
Well, hey, what? What? The fact that you didn't unmute your own mic?
Oh, no. The fact that most of your
past?
technical malfunctions are actually you.
Yeah, but it was your turn tonight. You had to have one.
Oh, yeah, my turn.
Yeah, it was
I
your
figured
turn.
I'd take the pressure off of you for once.
Oh, crap. I completely forgot to do something. Hang on a second. I'll be right back.
Oh, imagine that.
Do.
That's better.
Whoa.
New spectacles, everybody. Woo! I can see again. And damn, Mike, are you one ugly beast?
No, his white balance is just
Stop
off.
looking in the mirror, dude. I'm over to the right.
You're pasty. You look like a sparkly vampire from Forks, Washington. Never mind. Anyways,
The fact that you made that reference is terrifying.
I have an ex-wife to whom, when I was married to her,
That
like
face-
twisted my arm and made me watch that
Potatoes.
movie. But I watched it. I watched it with riff tracks. Do I get some
understand.
redemption?
Maybe a little bit.
Well, I know exactly where you're coming from with that, because, well, before the relationship I was in before this one, yeah, she forced me to watch the first movie. I haven't seen any of the other, parts of the others, but
Yeah.
haven't watched them through the whole way at all, and I don't care to.
I kind of... All right, so the story with me and Twilight, I watched the first movie with riff tracks. Okay? And then, of course, me and my wife divorced. And then I met my my now ex-fiancée, and she made me... Or she asked me... She watched a lot of my crazy bullshit stuff. So, in return, I watched the movies with her. Wasn't really paying that much attention, but I did watch them, unfortunately, without riff tracks because she wouldn't have it. She's not an MST3K fan or a riff tracks fan or a Mike Nelson fan or a Joel Hodgson's fan, which is sad.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste to listen to people riff on movies while you're watching the movie with them. So,
Yeah.
So I don't blame her for that. But hey, you know what? It's done. It's over with.
Worth my time.
So
That
Mike,
reminds me of a...
oh, go ahead, John.
Oh, it reminds me of a time back when I actually used to go see all the new movies with a couple friends of mine that did reviews of them.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the Dead or Alive movie the opening weekend, and we had the whole theater to ourselves.
Ooh, that's not bad.
Damn.
The
I
movie was
love it when
bad.
that happens, when you go to a theater and there's nobody there and it's just you. That's happened to me at least like 4 times in my life. The
That's
first
never happened to
the
yeah.
first time it happened to me was with Pokemon the movie. Dude, I was young at the time, so I went to the theater and I saw Pokemon the movie.
Oh, okay.
I was embarrassed. I was
So much.
embarrassed. Well, no, I wasn't embarrassed about that. The second time, it was the I want to say, what movie was it? I think it was the Power Rangers movie, the first one.
Oh,
I was embarrassed about that. I wasn't embarrassed about Pokemon, but I was embarrassed about that one because I think I remember telling the ticket person, like, yeah, I lost a bet. And then
Nice
I think
try.
it was another one was like, I think it was Men in Black 2 because it was out for a while. So,
Yeah.
you know, everyone's seen it.
I've never experienced like a very little, you know, a sparse theater like that unless it's been like at least a few weeks. Never
That's
on opening
when-
night for any of the movies I've gone to. So
That's when I like to go to a movie, is after it's been out for a couple of weeks. Exceptions, that's a movie that's like, okay, yeah, I want to see it in the theater, but I'm
Yeah.
not really like, oh my God, like if I see a spoiler of it online, I'm not going to like, you know, lose sleep over it. Movies that I would never do that with. Like the new Ghostbusters 2016. That was one of those movies is like, I'm not going to lose sleep if I see spoilers, you know, I'm going to go and enjoy the movie when there's less people there.
I mean,
It wasn't that bad of a
regardless of what the
movie.
plot
It was
was.
not that bad of a movie. But yeah, I mean, we already know the plot. 4 people
Yeah.
go and kick Ghost's ass. So,
it's like, oh my gosh, spoilers! Spoiler alert! Really? If you
Spoiler
haven't
alert,
seen the
spoiler
first 2,
alert.
then oh my god.
I do have to move this down here. Oh my God, it's Kenori. He's in the chat. What the hell is he doing here?
Calling you out.
Yeah, he is. He
yeah.
was 20.
Calling
He
you out.
lies.
Apparently he's born to
What was I
figure
20
out
about,
YouTube.
man? Was it freaking Pokemon or was it Power Rangers? Because I don't
Probably
remember
Power
being.
Rangers.
I don't think it was Power Rangers when I was 20. It might have been Pokemon.
Oh yeah,
I don't
that's
remember.
probably why.
It might have been Pokemon. Pokemans, yeah.
Pokemon.
Well, see,
Confirmed
again,
it.
no,
Confirmed
Pokemon was the shit. I wasn't embarrassed to go see Pokemon. It was when I saw Power Rangers, I was like, oh, I was little, or I was younger, but I was still embarrassed to go see it, and I told somebody I lost a bet.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Mike, what's going on with you, man? What you been up to? You said you got your shit together or something.
I'm slowly but surely getting, you know, my setup is closer to being complete. I actually have my workbench, my tech bench, almost done. Actually, the computer's finally done and updated.
Yeah.
So, and I have a KVM over there, so I can actually work on computers, which is actually what I used to work on your son's computer, by the way.
Sweet. And I thank you for that. And it is complete, right?
It is complete. It's waiting downstairs, at the top of my stairs, with the old motherboard in the new motherboard box.
Awesome. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that.
That reminds me, I've got a power supply sitting here for you still.
Oh, yeah. I need to come grab that. Here we go. I'm
Why do you
done.
need a power supply?
I'm done with. I don't remember.
It's-
Didn't I say it was going to go into something? Oh, you know what, John? I don't need that power supply anymore.
Ooh, upgrade.
Yeah, you keep it.
Sweet, thank you.
I originally wanted the power supply because I originally thought it was the power supply causing Tristan's problem.
Oh. No.
But considering it was the
did it?
motherboard, well, it wasn't. It was the voltage settings on the motherboard that we couldn't change.
No. It was not the voltage settings on the motherboard. The reason why you had to get a new motherboard is because the current motherboard that was in there was not compatible with that processor.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Were you updated
If
on
I
this,
had
John?
known that, I would have just left the original processor in there, which was, I think, a step down from the processors that I had in there. So
the motherboard that was in there before had a max TDP tolerance of 95 watts.
really,
The 8-core AMD FX processor that was in there had a peak TDP of like 125.
Huh. Wow.
Well,
So
that would do
when
it.
it hit peak,
Yeah, and then of course, Mike, you told me. Well, you mentioned it in our group chat. We have a group chat for us to discuss things during the week, in between shows. That the heatsink stuck to the processor while you were pulling it out. And thank God none of the pins were bent or broken, because that would have been like just heart wrenching. It's like, I just shelled out $70 for a board. I ain't got extra monies for a freaking processor now.
well, yeah, you spend $70.
Wait until I move to
The
Tacoma in April, and then I'll have like money. Maybe.
Well, that's just it. Is that freaking processor is still like $100?
Yeah, it's still a good
still
processor.
$100 processor.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's still a formidable processor.
Formidable.
Even now, with the freaking second gen Ryzen already out and talks of third.
Right. Well, there you go. Well, thank you, Mike, for doing all that. Now, John. Well, first of all, before we get John, I want to say happy belated St. Patty's Day to everybody. I got my Guinness here to celebrate. I just drank a Bloody Mary with Clamato Picante juice. So.
What are you drinking, John?
He's drinking. Yeah, John, what are you drinking? You
Dr.
mentioned
Pepper and gin.
Dr. Pepper and gin. Ooh.
What?
He's a gin guy. I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me. He is a gin guy. Ooh, the last time that I had gin, it's not the first time, but the last time that I had gin, I was flying back from New York and I got upgraded on Virgin Air, Virgin America, to Main Cabin Select, where I got free alcohol, free food, free entertainment. You know, the whole thing.
Oh, there's so many jokes I could take.
Oh my God, it's a really good airline. Piss off, Mike. But anyway, so I got all free. The only thing they had, like, as far as a Bloody Mary went, because Bloody Marys and White Russians are my drink of choices, right? That's my mixed drinks of choices. Sometimes I'll do a mudslide, but I like Bloody Marys and I like White Russians, and they both contain vodka. Well, the airline didn't have vodka; it had gin. So I had Bloody Mary mixed with gin, and it was, whew, that gin was dry. And it did a number on me too, because I ended up spilling the alcohol on my fucking lap.
I don't think that's a Bloody Mary, dude.
No,
Not at
with
that
gin?
point.
it was a bloody something, but it wasn't a Mary. So John,
At least it wasn't vermouth, okay? Oh my God.
so are you drinking Paps, Mike?
I'm sorry, I don't drink piss water.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking something I'm obsessed with. Monster Pacific Punch.
Oh, okay. It's an energy drink.
Yep. It's really fucking tasty is what it is.
John, what have you been up to, man?
Just a lot of the same. Not too much different. I did find an all recipes that spicy red snapper is a Bloody Mary with gin.
Oh, is that what it is? A spicy red.
Apparently.
So it's Bloody Mary mix and gin. That's a spicy red snapper.
Yep.
Wow.
By the way, I saw something circulating through Facebook about a hot sauce that scientists made that like has spider venom in it.
That would be John's expertise. He is the hot sauce connoisseur.
I was actually going
Not
to talk
heard of
to you
that.
about that. I was like, who the
Of course, Kenori throws in the freaking Weird Al joke. Red snapper, very tasty. It was tasty. That spicy red snapper drink, I guess I had. It just knocked me on my ass because when I went for my rum and coke, I spilt my rum and coke all over me, and I smelled like alcohol the rest of my trip.
Oh.
Wow. So, anyways, so John, nothing else going on with you, or?
Not too much, no.
All right. So I guess we should just get into it because
probably?
So let me set the stage here. First off, many moons ago, I was a blogger, a really shitty blogger. But I liked one of the things I used to like doing is make tech predictions. And I'm not tooting my own horn, but I like to think that I have about an 80% success rate with predicting video games and what's going on. I predicted the demise of the Ouya and OnLive when they were first announced. I said this shit ain't gonna last like, at least a year or two.
I was excited about that for like 5 seconds.
Yeah. At one point, I'm gonna find the blog post, and when I find the blog post, I'll post it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/noobshelter. I had posted that Google, in or around between 2016 and 2020, or 2018 and 2020, was gonna throw their freaking hat into the video game ring. And look what the fuck happened. Google announces. How do we pronounce Stadia? Is that it?
Stadia.
Stadia.
It is Stadia.
Is it Stadia? They announced Stadia.
Don't make me bitch.
The Stadia game streaming platform. Now, y'all remember a couple episodes ago where I was bitch slapping. I was pissed because I am not a proponent of video game streaming. At the time before this announcement, the hardware wasn't there. There was too much dependent on the hardware of the machine that was receiving the stream. Software is just dog shit. There's always the issue of input lag, and input lag can screw everything up. If you don't believe me, I refer you to last week's episode where I live streamed Earthbound, and I specifically talked about the fact that I had to play Earthbound because I couldn't play any other game because of input lag.
That's why I can't stream Minecraft, and I had to record it back when I was making videos.
Right.
Wait.
Well, I could stream Minecraft.
Talking about
I just don't have a separate
there.
device right now to display the SNES Classic onto, so I don't deal with input lag. I have to look at it through the computer, through actual OBS when I'm playing it, and that's where the input lag comes in. Yeah, because I don't have I have a port for external to push it back out. I just don't have a TV or a monitor here. I gave Mike my
monitor you can have.
Is it the one I gave you?
No, I'm using that for my Xbox.
Does the monitor that you have audio out? Or is that built-in speakers? No. Okay. I might still take that anyways because I do need a third monitor.
It's okay, so it's similar to the one you gave me, but it's smaller, so I figured it might work out better.
Does it have HDMI?
No.
DVI?
But it'll still work. Yes.
DVI? Okay, I'll give it a shot because I have an HDMI to DVI cable. So.
Yeah. Well, that's how I was able to plug my Xbox into it before, and it works fine.
So
a digital signal is a digital signal.
So, anyways, this announcement came out. I want to say 3 days ago. Sounds about right. The 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they made waves at GDC. This is where they announced this beast in San Fran of Stadia, a streaming game service.
For those of you who don't know what GDC is, it's Google's development
Game Developers Conference. That's what they call it. It's GDC's Game Developers Conference. Well, anyways, Stadia is going to launch this year in the United States, Canada, UK, and Europe. They didn't share any pricing information yet. Google worked exclusively with AMD to design a custom GPU with more than 10 teraflops of power to handle the service. It's going to run on Linux and Vulkan and work on the Unreal Engine and Unity. Google said it's more powerful than the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 combined.
So
where is my bullshit sound effect? I'm joking. Go ahead, Mike.
So, discussing the, how you were talking about the infrastructure wasn't there, the hardware sucked, and all that lag and stuff like that.
Let me have it.
You're not referencing the episode that we actually freaking almost came to blows about that, right? Because
I am. Let me have it.
The hardware was there. That's why things have
I know, but no one was using it right. And you had made a comment that it just slipped past me. about Google doing Project Stream, and you mentioned something about them streaming a game over the Chrome browser. And again, it was something that just went whoosh, because I was like, okay, because I heard it, I processed it. My thought process after I interpreted it was, okay, Google did something with streaming back in October, and we haven't heard shit from them since. So it just was like out my ear hole until now.
Well, that's just it, though. I mean, it's beyond that. I also showed you a freaking service that's been around for the past couple of years that might not be available in Washington State.
Yeah, but that one, I don't know.
Available in several states and is actually flourishing.
At the time, streaming was a gimmick. Okay, it's like, and I will get into this in another episode because I'm still working on my 5G story, but I'm also working on this where you got companies now trying to buy up all the podcasts and create a podcast network. One of the things I learned doing this show in other shows that I've done in the past, and from listening to other podcasters who were like considered founding fathers of podcasting, you cannot monetize the network. This is what you see here. If you get sponsors, great. That's money in your pocket, but it's not going to last forever. If you get donations, yes, donate. If you get value out of the show, shoot us a couple of bucks. We'd be grateful, you know. But with that, the whole podcast business, monetizing podcasting, building a business around it, that's a farce. It's just a way to get VC money and buy hookers, blow, and Teslas. All right. That's the way I thought of video game streaming, and I was biased towards it, and I apologize for being biased towards it. My theory is unless a big name jumps in the ring and says, we're going to do this, Sony is not a good example because they suck at everything they do. They don't even have cross-play figured out yet.
Well, that's just it, though. Big freaking example of that is Xbox.
Yeah, but okay. Xbox doesn't stream. You download their game.
I know, but Game Pass, yes. It is not a live streaming service. I still consider it a streaming service because you're downloading the game from their servers.
Right.
You download it to your system, and then you play the game.
Right.
If your subscription lapses, you no longer have access to that game.
Right.
It's basically just a waste of space on your hard drive. That's it. So
right.
If you renew your subscription, you're able to play the game again.
Exactly. Okay.
That is a streaming service. While it does require downloading, that's just a stepping stone. That's what Xbox has been doing, and that's why their development has actually come so far, is because they see the future. They see the potential for streaming, and the hardware has actually come so long,
Hi, Ruby
so far in such a small amount of time, and they're just taking those steps to where at one point in time we could very well see strictly streaming consoles.
I don't want that, though. That's just it. I'm the old guy in the room that's saying I don't want it. But at the same time,
you're going to be the old guy who has, just like me, who has a freaking
I quit
Super Nintendo right next to your Xbox.
I quit
old ass Xbox.
I quit a lot of my pirating music. Most of my pirated music when Spotify came out, and then especially when Google Play Music came out, because I could stream that. That I was okay with. I quit a lot of my pirating of movies and TV. Not all of it. But a lot of it because Netflix came out. For a while there, Netflix streaming, I didn't pirate anything. I didn't download anything because it was there. And then, now I got Amazon Prime Video because I'm an Amazon Prime member. I got Pluto TV. I got, there's a lot of free entertainment out there. Yeah, she's shaming me. It's okay. Shame! 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 Woo! Shame! Shame! Okay, anyways. My thing is this. When I buy a console, I want to hook up the console. I want to be able to buy a video game, whether I have to download it or, or buy a hard copy of it. I want to be able to play the game.
Pelt him with fruit.
I am the old guy in the room that grew up with the Atari 2600, the Atari 7800, the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the Sega Genesis, the N64. Hard consoles with hard games that you plugged in. We didn't have any of the internet and download shit at the time.
You keep saying that.
I know.
As if you're like 2 decades older than
I know. I'm not. I know you guys have been there too, but like I have more. I want, if I buy it, if I give you money, I want the physical product when it comes to video games. I don't want to stream my shit.
I understand that. Okay?
So that's where
That does sound like a 50-year-old man.
pretty much I'm just saying that like I had a bias that episode and I apologize for my bias. Now that Google's jumping into this and they're actually giving it a name and they're throwing money at it, now my interest is piqued. And that's where we're at right now.
But here's something to consider though. Okay, I understand you want, the physical game to hold on to. But consider this, okay? Streaming is actually going to start dropping prices because you pay $10 a month. Well, just hear me out, okay?
I'm listening.
You pay $10 a month for the Game Pass subscription, and they make hundreds of games available to you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
In this day and age, there's still the physical media, and the streaming services, like digital content, is still widely prevalent. So the fact that you're still paying the same price, whether you get digital or a physical copy, is just freaking blowing my mind because they're making money hand over fist with digital content.
Just as long as I can get
the same freaking prices.
I'm okay with the streaming service just as long as I can get an actual copy that I can own and play on whatever device I want to play it on. Well, not whatever device I can play it on. So when the company goes tits up, then I can have it. Yeah, I know. I do have
that, Ruby.
I have a VHS collection somewheres. I have a VHS collection of okay, John, of like Disney movies that are in a box somewheres over here. I don't know what to do with them. And I do miss the rotary phone, actually. I like the rotary phone. Rotary phones were fun.
Not misdialed. You have to start that shit over.
That was my first phone.
You get the last freaking number.
That was my my first phone. Was a rotary phone.
I can't say anything though because my wife and I still buy DVDs and Blu-rays because I love having the physical copies.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
No, but it's the convenience is where it's getting people because you have the convenience of streaming services like Netflix, like Prime Video, and Hulu and all that, to where you don't have to get up out of your ass and stick something in a DVD or a Blu-ray player.
No, Ruby. That was my grandfather's first phone. Was a carrier pigeon. He actually worked. He actually guarded the German border for the constabulary after WW2.
Oh, I killed the internet by walking.
He was
behind my
West
laptop.
Germany.
What?
He was on the West German border.
Yes, you did.
The West side, the good side, not the evil communist side. Poke, John. He was poking you. Hello, John.
Technical difficulties.
Oh.
Technical malfunction.
There we go.
I don't see how that could possibly be. I can still hear it to you.
It just says poor connection. Hey, look, it went back to widescreen.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure there's like, I don't know what's going on tonight, but like, I'm sitting here monitoring the stream. There's dips. There's some like big dips that are happening. I see John's on top. Good to keep the relationship fresh.
Yep, sure does.
Anyways, going back into this,
Although,
let's we got
here. He'll probably end up on top.
Yeah, we got way off on a thing here. So here's the deal. So besides the stream, you get a separate one. A separate one will be made at 4K at 60 frames per second to stream to YouTube. That they're doing this because a lot of people have been using YouTube Live. I would use YouTube Live if it wasn't for the freaking delay. YouTube Live has the worst delay ever.
What is it?
I think it's like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
That's not a delay. That's a freaking difficulty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like
ridiculous.
it's a delay between us streaming and them hitting it. So while we're talking, they haven't even seen our stream yet, and then like we've gone on to another topic, and then they're still talking about the previous topic. That can create some
a lot of issues. That's
exactly.
15 seconds is ridiculous.
Hitbox,
Especially for YouTube. For
one of the
God's sake.
things I liked about Hitbox was there was about at most a 2-second delay between what we said and what the audience hear and what we saw in chat.
Yep.
Twitch,
That's weird.
I think they fixed it. I think there's about maybe a 3 to 5 second delay.
I was going to
Which-
say 5 to 7.
5 to 7, yeah. So that's not bad.
It's different. It depends because I've seen
But
like 5 to
YouTube-
7, but I've also seen 3 to 5.
But YouTube, I shit you right now, is about a 12 to 15 second delay.
That's unacceptable. That's
Facebook, I
ridiculous.
don't think was bad either. I think Facebook had
Only a
about
2-second delay right
I think
now.
Facebook had a better delay. Yeah, I saw that. Ruby Jean said we
Yeah.
have about a 2-second delay.
It's not bad considering all of our.
And a lot of that
collective
delay is
internet
probably
connections.
because we're sitting here looking at each other talking, and then I just happen to look over a chat and see a shot a message up. So because I got the studio window here, my notes here, and then over here on monitor 2, I got John, Mike, and then I got the chat right there. So
Camera
Yeah, third
Camera two.
monitor.
Camera 1.
I do need a third monitor so I could have my notes here, you guys here, and then
And the
everything else over here.
teleprompter over there.
Yeah.
Twitch tells her what the delay is. What?
Oh, Twitch tells you what the delay. Oh, that's
Weird.
cool. That's not bad. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't need to know. Moving on and back on topic. So, anyways,
Yeah.
so 60 frames per second to stream to YouTube. That's okay, cool, whatever. If you want like a 15-second delay. But for most streamers, they don't care. They just sit there and play, and their moderators handle everything. So
Tells her about
it doesn't work for guys like us.
Of course not.
Like I said, Google worked with AMD to design a custom GPU with more than 10 teraflops of power to handle the service. They're saying it's going to run more powerful than Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Here's the specs that I see here. So the GPU has got 10.7 teraflops of power, 56 compute units, and HBM2 memory. I've never even heard of HBM2 memory.
Here's the catcher. Here's the kicker to that, though. Okay, what they're describing, they're not describing a physical console. They're describing the servers that are running the service.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a huge difference between
Yeah.
a server running a service, which can be OP.
'Cause there is
We're
no
talking basically about a
console.
computer
Your
and
browser,
the console.
your browser window is the console. Your TV
Yeah.
is the console. Your phone, your tablet is the console. Your shitty freaking iPad is going to be the console.
No,
Yeah,
I
Gen
wouldn't
1
call it a
iPad.
console. I'd call that
Virtualization.
either a thin or zero client.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, it's all virtualization.
I'm just saying, like, the devices are going to become the consoles. Yeah, they're thin clients. We get that.
Yeah.
But in spirit, they're the consoles. Actually, that's not true. I believe the controller is going to play a major part in how this stuff works. We'll get to that in a
Wi-Fi.
minute, though. I got notes on that. The actual CPU is just is a custom x86 processor. Okay, they're not going with a 64-bit architecture. Sure. Mike, do you have any comments on why they would use 86 over 64-bit?
The 64-bit isn't. Okay.
I mean, I know my
the
stuff,
full
but when
name
it comes
for the
to
64-bit is x86-64. 64-bit is based on x86 architecture.
okay.
So if they're going off of x86 architecture, that does not necessarily eliminate it from being a 64-bit
Okay,
system.
well, they just said it's a x86 processor. They didn't say architecture, which leads me to believe it's a traditional 86 processor.
I doubt that.
I could be wrong. 2.7 gigahertz processor, hyper-threading, AVX2. So a lot of the meat is going to be in the GPU. The memory is only 16 gigs of RAM. Up to 484 gigabits of transfer speed. That's pretty damn fast. L2, L3 cache of 9.5 megabytes. Okay. So a lot of the meat and potatoes is going to be in the GPU and the transfer speed.
Yeah. And to expound
The
on
memory
the
transfer speed.
processor, I highly doubt that it is actually a true 32-bit processor off of the x64 architecture, because the only processors that are actually made using that architecture specifically, or at least that setting of the architecture, is mobile processors like ARM and that.
So they
All modern processors are 64-bit.
I wonder if I know AMD worked with them on the GPU. I wonder if they worked with them on the CPU as well.
It wouldn't surprise me if they did, honestly.
So a demo was shown as well, where a user watched a YouTube trailer for Assassin's Creed Odyssey and then clicked immediately on the play button in the trailer, and the game just popped up instantaneously, and they could start playing it in their browser. Okay, that's pretty cool.
That's a fiber connection.
Single creative vision and single code based can be enjoyed instantly on any screen, laptops, desktops, TVs, and phones. There's no additional box required. Company then showed the seamless transition from a Chromebook to a phone to a desktop to a tablet and to a TV over a Chromecast. So you will need a Chromecast. I remember seeing this. You will need a new Chromecast device. I don't exactly remember the name of it, but it's like an upgraded Chromecast dongle that you're going to plug into your TV. It'll probably be like $50-$60, but you're going to use that to stream the game over. So,
well, yeah, and that's if you want to do that on your TV.
now, mind you guys, here's something else I want to talk about real quick before we continue going down. My other concern with streaming is not can they get me the product? Obviously, Google's got the balls. They got the meat and potatoes. They can get the product to me. When the product hits the pole outside and comes into my house through my box, then what? Is my shit gonna fuck it up? That's the question right there.
That's just it. That's why I'm very leery when it comes to this specific thing, because I think it's too early for something like this, for this idea, because the infrastructure is not there.
It is at Google HQ, but I mean, okay, so you're telling me, Google,
I'm talking about like the consumer, the consumer grade throughout the entire country. I'm not talking about Google HQ. The infrastructure for the ISPs were supposed to be keeping up on, but haven't been because there's no competition for them. So there's no incentive to actually maintain and upgrade their shit.
So question for Google, like, okay, man, so you telling me that I can stream any video game to my laptop that's on a Wi-Fi that only has like a maximum of like 100 megabits per second. Also, my internet connection is only like 12 megabits because I have CenturyLink and Puyallup and they suck.
You know what I'm assuming this is actually going to be?
What?
It's a step down. You're not actually going to be looking at your phone, and the game is not going to be on your phone at 4K 60 frames. If you're playing a game on your mobile device, it's not going to be 4K 60. It's more than likely going to be 480 30. Or 480 60. 480 60 is actually really easy to push on a 5 meg download connection.
What question for the panel here? Are they expecting 5G rollout? Do you think? Because 5G is supposed to connect all of us.
Yeah, it would make sense, honestly.
John?
Yeah, that would make sense. Although it all really kind of comes down to just other speeds, because 4G on some networks is faster than what some tests of 5G have been.
No, Ruby Jean, I didn't mean to poke at you. She has CenturyLink and Puyallup. It's like, yeah. Well, in certain parts of Puyallup, CenturyLink is good, and other parts it's bad. Like up here on the hill that is south, we only can get like 12 megabits per second from CenturyLink.
Yeah, that's why I have Comcast. It's
When I was down on East Main, over on the Puyallup Sumner border, CenturyLink would only give us, I think, like up to like 3 to 5 megs.
I was there.
Yeah.
Seriously, I had CenturyLink beforehand, and
They were rolling
I
out
had
Prism
down 1 meg up.
and gigabit and gigabit internet and stuff like that. Yet over on the south side of Tacoma, in the ghetto, they got gigabit internet. In fact, I'm proud to say that, like, at the end of April, the Noob Shelter will be broadcasting live over a fiber connection. And it's fiber to the home. Just saying. So.
Okay, yeah, just rub it in. Just rub it in.
I can't. It's through CenturyLink, so I have my doubts, but
No, dude, seriously. The more I've been hearing about CenturyLink stepped their shit up, dude. They're actually doing extremely well with their fiber connections.
Well,
their
you
their
think
DSL might suck, but fiber actually they put a lot of money into. So you're gonna have one hell of a connection.
I also like the fact that it's not metered. They're
right.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's move on to YouTube streaming. This is the whole reason why Google's doing this. We all freaking know it. YouTube's head of gaming, Ryan Wyatt, detailed how streamers can use the service, taking on Twitch.
Douchebag!
Taking on Twitch. They're gonna try to take down Twitch.
Dude, seriously.
He
Competition.
said YouTube is where people come to watch gaming. I really need to load my bullshit sound effect up on here. So,
I thought you had one. Oh no, wait, that's you.
that's gonna be my bullshit sound effect tonight.
Well, they have YouTube Gaming.
They
okay?
do, but see, it's just Google trying to grab all the money, man. They want the money.
And Twitch doesn't?
They do too, but Twitch was here first. I don't know. You know what?
happens
You know what,
when
YouTube? If
competition-
you want my money, if you want me to stream for you, YouTube, you need to get rid of that bullshit 15-second delay so I can interact with my people on the fly. Fucking little shitboard hitbox.tv.
Do you know what
1 to 2 second
competition
delay.
provides?
Huh?
Do you know what competition provides?
Innovation?
There you go.
Well,
And you're freaking
YouTube
bitching
sure
about
as fuck
competition.
isn't innovating. Anyways, streamers will be able to capture directly from Stadia. Additionally, Stadia's new crowd play button will let YouTuber creators generate lobbies for games to play with YouTubers. Also, with YouTube players, we'll be able to ask Google Assistant with a button on the Stadia controller for help, which will bring up YouTube clips on how to beat certain puzzles. Okay. You can. All right. Here's the other one. Here's the big meaty thing. Here's the controller. God. This is what everyone's been talking about. Now the controller I'm looking at, you guys. Rythone dropped the link in there. Rythone, if you want to drop that link in again, since we've been chatting up here, and it's been hidden. The Stadia controller looks like a typical standard video game controller that you would see with PlayStation or Xbox or Nintendo's Pro controller. Follows the traditional Xbox style of buttons, A, B, X, Y. Looks like I can't really see too much there. Oh, there we go. That's better. Thank you, Aziz.
And honestly, it looks like a modded version of an Xbox controller.
It does. It does. Except, you got buttons you got like sub buttons to the left and right. It looks like a context menu button. Looks like a full screen button, maybe a share
No, that's
button.
your stream or share button, and then the one on the left is where you'd have select. What that is that's the Google Assistant button.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh yeah, I see that now. I see the little G there. All right. Yep. Okay. And then of course in the middle is that big old button, the Stadia button. Diagonal pad, 2 analogs. I'm assuming 2 top buttons, 2 triggers on the back. You can use your current FP USB controller, but Google will have its own, the Stadia controller. Looks like a mix between a PS4 and Xbox One controller, exactly like we all just said. It connects through Wi-Fi to the game in the Google data center. This is how they're going to beat lag. You're not connecting it to your device, which connects it to the browser, which connects it to the server. You're connecting your controller directly to the server. There you go. That's how they beat input lag.
Yep.
How the does it have a built-in cellular connection?
No, Wi-Fi.
It's got a built-in Wi-Fi.
It uses
The
the Wi-Fi.
controller itself has a built-in wireless NIC.
That'll be fun to troubleshoot.
There you go. And
By
it
the way,
connects
I just
directly. It connects through through Wi-Fi directly to Google Data Center to ensure the best performance. It also has a share button to stream via YouTube and Google Assistant buttons to use the controller's microphones to get help with features built by developers. ID Software took the stage to show off Doom Eternal on Stadia. So apparently they had Doom Eternal. The game's going to run at 4K with HDR at 60 frames per second. They showed how multiple GPUs are more flexible and powerful using the 3D Mark Firestrike benchmark. Oh, wow.
That's nuts.
They're going to embrace platform play, including game saves. Google CDO Sundar Pichai started the keynote discussing how games are important to part of Google's research, including AI. AI is complete and total bullshit.
You got called out on the date for the banner.
The date. Oh, I did.
It's not March 8th, is it?
It's not.
Nope.
It's the 22nd. Wow.
So is this episode 16 then?
Yeah, we're on
Yep.
episode 16. Let me fix that. I'm just gonna.
You know, we've only
Oh,
been
damn.
going for like an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, I did it.
No, you didn't.
Malfunction.
It still popped up March 8th, 2019.
I'm pretty sure I
And
changed that, but
There
whatever.
you go. Now it updated.
Well, the date did. You gotta fix the episode now.
I'm on it. There.
Episode
Is
1.
it 16?
What? Yeah.
Anyways.
Google Docs says the episode 16.
Oh man.
How did we all miss that?
that is amazing!
Oh, my mind.
We missed it, John, because it's not our fucking job. It's his.
Oh.
It is. Yeah, it is my job. You guys are not supposed to pay attention to this shit. I am. Thank you all. I'm surprised you're not going back to AOL to match your old man theme. AOL's dead. I never used AOL. My first internet connection was Frontier when they were in New York and they were just a phone company. And I had my 56K modem plugged into my second phone line so I wouldn't tie up my mother's line, and connected through the built-in network connection application on Windows 95. So where you actually have to type in the username, password, and phone number that you want to call, and then you hear that
Just so you're aware, AOL actually is still around.
Yep.
Are they
It
really?
services rural neighborhoods,
Hmm.
rural areas that do not have the ability to do broadband because the
I think I've heard that, Ruby Jean, on your phone a
infrastructure
couple
wasn't
times.
out there.
Yeah, I know. AOL's still a thing, even though they're like a shadow of what they used to be.
Well, I mean, what's the satellite one? HughesNet, they're still around.
Oh god, yeah, I know
Are you
those
freaking
guys.
kidding me? Seriously?
Yeah, HughesNet's
They're
still
rural
around.
too. You know what's
How the
funny?
hell are they still operating? Like,
You know what's funny? For
who's
internet,
paying for that?
for internet
People
out
out
on
in the middle of the US.
San Juan Island. I believe that's
Yep.
the only way they can get decent internet is on San Juan Island.
No, I don't think so. I think they actually have a.
They do not have a fiber
quad-
cable. They do not have a cable going across the sound.
Actually,
It's not
there
going
are.
across the sound. They have
You-
a backbone underwater.
No, Matt, you worked through that outage when someone was dredging the sound with their thing and severed the fiber line.
No, that wasn't going over there. That was Camino. Wasn't that Camino Island?
No, it was right through the strait. It was one of the
Yeah.
main feeds.
Oh.
That's why it took down everyone.
Because I swear to God, I've talked to people over there. I've been to San Juan and I've talked to people over there, and they have shit internet.
How long ago?
This was back, I want to say, in 2015, 2016.
That wouldn't
Anyways,
surprise me if they had a broadband backbone.
moving forward. So, blah 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 blah. That's pretty much it. They did a lot of demos for the Stadia. I mean, let me see. I got another article here. I went through the Tom's Hardware one because that's the first place I saw it. If you guys want, I will drop the link. Oh, did he? You already did it. John dropped the link in there. They actually have the keynote video on the PC Gamer site. So pretty much Google's just all about everybody should be able to play games no matter where they are, and no matter what device they're on. Okay, I'm cool. It makes a little bit more sense as far as input lag goes that the controller actually connects to their warehouse directly and not like through step 1, step 2, step 3. So if I were to ping the controller, it would go, router, modem, internet, some exchange, warehouse, as opposed to like having to be connected through USB and then bouncing all over the goddamn place. So, final
You'd be able
thoughts.
to ping it if it connected through USB.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, I know. You know what I mean. Shut up.
Accuracy.
Shut up. Anyways, but yeah, more as this develops. I called it though. Google is going to get into the gaming industry. I do want to make a couple of predictions here. First of all, since we're on the topic, because we're gonna segue into a quick break since this took up a whole hour, like I was hoping it would. That's good. A couple of predictions I want to make for the remainder of this year. Let's go up to the end of 2020. Okay. So, Mike, first of all, you told me now you've been keeping an eye on Xbox's discless console, right?
Yes, I have.
That's coming out this year in May, right?
Yep.
Okay.
They've announced launch early May.
We are going discless completely. Sony's going to follow suit. I guarantee by the end of the year, Sony's going to release something that's discless.
No.
Haven't they always been? Oh, wait.
No.
End of the year. Christmas time or shortly thereafter, Sony will either have released or they will announce a discless system. It's going to be half the size of the PS4, and I'm predicting it is going to cost, I'm going to say, between $169 and $199. Quote me on
Honestly,
that.
I don't.
Because Sony did just say with their PlayStation Now service that you can actually download the games now, some of their games, to your PlayStation 4. I'm telling you, because they're always trying to copy everybody. That's Sony. Like, okay, when the Wii came out, what did Sony do? They came out with Xbox released the
ice cream cones.
What was that? The Kinect? They came out with the ice cream cones and the camera. All right. I mean, Oculus and Vive were fighting over VR. Microsoft was talking about putting out a VR headset. Sony's like, we're going to do it first. They did. Xbox backed out. Microsoft backed out.
Well, yeah, but you're got
The Steam Link.
a little mixed
The
up.
Steam Link came out shortly
Hold on,
thereafter.
Hold on.
PlayStation TV came out.
I
Hold
thought
on.
you didn't want to speak about Steam Link.
What?
You got something way freaking mixed up, okay? PlayStation and the Kinect do not go together. Okay, the Kinect.
No, that's not what
on
I
its
said.
own.
I said when the Xbox came out with the Kinect camera, Xbox
Yeah.
Kinect, Sony came out with their own shit.
Yeah, but that had nothing to do with the
Yeah, but-
Kinect.
It worked similar.
It's because of the Kinect.
Yeah.
They had controls like the Wii.
Yeah, that worked in tandem with their camera app. They were trying to up the Wii, and they were trying to up Microsoft's Kinect camera.
Which was
Product.
stupid because Microsoft's
But
Kinect camera was way
we can
freaking
all
better.
agree, though. What you got there, Mike? What is that? Is that a Chromecast or is that a hockey puck?
Did you just call him Mike?
No, John. I meant to say John. Sorry.
It's a portable hole.
It's a portable hole.
That's a portable hole.
Yep.
Oh, wait, hold on. Where'd it go? Oh, no.
No, I have the
Bam!
black 3.0. You can't really see it on camera very well.
What is that? Is that a Chromecast?
Oh, his is.
No, I know he's got a Chromecast. I actually have the hockey puck Chromecast in my bedroom.
No, this is just a tin.
So
This is
Which is
first
in
gen
tin.
Chromecast.
I have
Don't know if it works. I have to freaking plug it in to find out.
I have two of those, and I have the hockey puck Chromecast that came free with a 3-month subscription to YouTube TV.
What?
So, yep.
I didn't get one of those.
Sorry.
Oh.
Okay. So
We were supposed to get a Chromecast.
so again, I'm predicting by Christmas of 2019, by the end of 2019, Sony will have announced or released a discless video game system, and it's going to retail between $169 and $199. Because they're copycat artists, they can't do anything original, and they're mad at everybody in the video game industry, and they have to steal everything, or not actually steal, but steal ideas.
Everyone's mad.
That's prediction number one. That's prediction number one.
You know why I think you're wrong on
Why?
that? Because there has been such animosity between Sony and Microsoft's Xbox division lately that I highly doubt something like this is going to happen in the next year. It might be announced next summer, but that's the earliest it's going to be freaking announced.
Well, anyways, I'm just calling the prediction. So if I'm wrong,
I know,
I'm wrong.
but-
I will eat crow. If I'm right, then hey, I will just say cool. That's
Bullshit.
prediction one. That's prediction one. Prediction
You're gonna
two.
freaking do the same shit you did at the beginning of the show. Ah, right.
Yeah, I probably will. Prediction two. Nintendo's not going to do jack shit
No.
until middle of 2020. They're going to announce something else. I don't know what, but I can guarantee it's going to have something to do with online streaming.
You know what? It's really difficult for Nintendo to release a discless system when they don't use discs. They haven't since the Wii,
Yeah, since the Wii U. Thank you.
the Wii U.
Yeah, they went
Which
back.
I think that was their brief foray into using discs, and they're like, "Forget, screw it, we're going back to flats."
Yep.
But Nintendo's going to announce something to do with streaming middle of 2020. Why? Because they're late to the party, and if they do something, they want to make sure they get it right. Ever since the Virtual Boy, they want to try to make it. They want to try to get it right. I guarantee something streaming announced is going to come in 2020. That's number two. Number three,
Well,
Micro.
I think
Go ahead. Finish up.
I think that the Virtual Boy was just ahead of his time. Honestly, it would actually be awesome if they took a second look at that concept and revived it for this day and age, because the freaking tech is there now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like,
totally.
Virtual Boy 2.0 would actually be pretty badass now.
I had the knockoff version that just went over one eye.
I remember those stupid things, the little headsets, the like, yeah.
It was awesome. I had a whole bunch of games for it. It was a lot of fun.
Huh.
Neither Sony or Nintendo, in my mind, are best. By the way, Fitz. Don't even. Besides, if it is who I think it is, there are all three of those systems in your freaking household.
So, okay, so prediction number 3 has to do with Microsoft, okay? Because all right, they're already opening the floodgates of Windows operating system to the Linux community. They're already opening up the floodgates of Xbox streaming, Xbox, what is that? Game Pass, and Xbox Live to Nintendo. Did they also say they were going to try to do? They're not going to do anything with Sony, but they said they were going to. I think they said PC, yeah, PC and Nintendo. And Android phones and smartphones and stuff like that.
Well, they're not going to do freaking Sony because Sony has stick up their ass and they don't want to collaborate
Thanks,
with anyone.
Aaron. I know. I'm not knocking Sony. Sony's pretty good. They just like to copy a lot of people. Nintendo's awesome. I got no problem with Nintendo. But anyway, so
doesn't give a shit
I
about anything else.
I predict number 3 that Microsoft is going to open the floodgates even more by no later than the middle of 2020. They're going to
be surprised.
They're going to increase the Xbox Game Pass library. I guarantee they're going to work something out with Nintendo about maybe getting some of their content on Xbox.
Well, I mean, they can just walk
and
down
on
the
PC
street and talk.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. They're literally right down the street from each other.
I know.
Well, here's the thing. Honestly, I think this prediction actually has some credence because with the release of the upcoming new Xbox One S console, Maverick, codename Maverick, I think that I wouldn't be surprised if they announced the expansion of the Game Pass library this coming summer because it's going to be the cheapest Xbox One console that's going to be available, and so a whole hell of a lot more people are going to go
deeper with that prediction. I'm going to predict by 2025, Nintendo and Microsoft are going to combine forces in some way. Nintendo, Microsoft, and like anything Microsoft's doing with PC, like as far as game streaming stuff like that, I guarantee they're going to combine forces.
Well, Xbox and PCMR are like they're already close to being hand in hand with what Microsoft is doing with games on Windows.
Right.
So, I mean, PCMR is actually is getting one hell of a deal out of this.
Right.
And honestly, I think it should have been a bit sooner than that. But I can understand that with the Xbox 360, the tech just was not there.
Prediction number 4.
How many of this shit are you going to have?
I said I have 5 predictions. Okay, let's recount real quick. Prediction number 1 was Sony was going to make a streaming box by either announce it or produce it by the end of this year. Number 2, and the retail is going to be $169 to $199. Number 2 was Nintendo's going to announce something big middle of 2020. And it's going to have something to do with online streaming. Number 3, Xbox is going to join forces, or Xbox is going to, Microsoft's going to do something more with all Nintendo and PC than just be on Game Pass. And then on top of that, I further predict that Nintendo and Microsoft are going to actually join forces probably by 2025. Here's my 4th prediction. Amazon's going to do something.
I don't know.
They already,
Amazon is going to do something. No, they are going to do something. They have a game development platform through AWS right now. Go Google it. It's a thing. I've seen it. It's called Light something or other. I don't remember the exact name. But because I'm always researching game development and game industry stuff, it always pops up on my damn Facebook feed and like all my other news feeds, like ads for it and stuff like that. Stupid freaking ads. Amazon's going to do something video game related, and I suspect it's going to be we're going to hear something either at the end of 2019 when we least expect it, or at GDC next year. Or
I wouldn't be surprised if they start, they put a hat in the game developers ring. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But I think that would probably be the extent of it all. Because
I'm going to go further with that prediction.
I can't see anything further than that.
Because Amazon owns Twitch. This is why I'm almost sure something's going to happen now that Google's jumping in. And Google's trying to take their candy away from, namely their streaming thing, away from Amazon. The money that they spent on Twitch. I'm telling you right now, man, they're going to announce something late 2019, early 2020. If it's not
equals innovation.
Exactly.
Just remember that.
It's going to happen.
Repeat
I guarantee
that as a freaking mantra in your head, goddammit.
And the fifth and
Netflix
final
doesn't
thing.
do any more of those Minecraft type ones.
The fifth and final thing that I'm going to predict right now is that Stadia, I'm going to give it, I like it. I think it's a really good idea. The fact that they figured out the input lag issue, which is pretty simple, instead of having the controller connect to the device that's streaming it, connect it directly to the data center. That's pretty neat. I don't see this being a lifelong project, and I predict because they're releasing it this year. So let's give it a year, 2 years. I'm going to say by the end of 2021, Stadia is going to be Google's going to drop it.
I don't think
just
so.
like they did with fiber.
No, they did not drop fiber because of lack of trying. That's for damn sure.
No. I will agree with you.
The pressure that they had on that.
They dropped fiber
popularity.
because of all the bullshit they were going through the different municipalities that they were dealing with, all the red tape and stuff like that. No, I get that.
This is not the same.
This isn't the same, but I got a feeling that this is going to be Google putting its foot in the water, creating something innovative, and then just dropping it and letting somebody else handle it. I don't see it lasting past 2021.
If it's successful, if this is as successful as it has the potential to be, I wouldn't be surprised if they freaking start expanding upon it and offer either a zero client or a thin client type device to pair with it.
Yeah, and that's great sounding, but that's totally against what they're announcing here. That would be backpedaling. Look at what happened with Xbox. They backpedaled so much. You're not getting backwards compatibility. Look what we got. Yeah.
Well, here's the kicker, though. Okay, they actually have put their, they've started this with one hell of a boost because
they did. They caught everyone by
compatibility between, amongst devices and the ability to move fluid like between devices. They're not, the hardware that they're releasing is a physical controller. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
They have a step up over Xbox, over Sony, over Nintendo, because they don't have the hardware infrastructure that they have to keep up on.
Right. I'm just calling it as I'm smelling it right now, because you just
don't like streaming.
No, it's not that I don't like streaming. I even said Nintendo is going to announce something streaming like probably in the middle of 2020. I got to get over it, and I'm going to adapt to it. I'm not saying streaming is going to die with this. I'm just saying Google's going to just let this thing go. 2021.
Nope.
Nintendo
I'll tell you why right now.
If Nintendo comes out,
Jade Raymond is the executive in charge of Stadia Games and Entertainment. They've made their own production company. She was the founder of Ubisoft Toronto.
Yeah, that ain't going anywhere anytime.
Nope.
Man.
Stadia just...
you need to retract that one, man. I didn't know.
You know what? I am a man of honor. I'm going to stick to my prediction. 2020, end of 2021. Okay. Stadia is going the way of the dodo. I'm not saying streaming will. I'm pretty sure this is going to light a fire under streaming's ass. And the big boys, Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony. I don't even think Nintendo, Microsoft and Sony are going to do something.
That explains why
are going to be the big dogs.
Creed is a launch title, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does explain it. You know, if she came from Ubisoft, then yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still standing by my thing. 2021. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see.
Watch_dogs was another one that she did.
Yeah. Watch Dogs is actually a really freaking good game. I
need to play it. I have it. I just haven't played it yet. It's on my list.
Mighty Quest for Epic Loot.
It's on my list of things to play. Anyway, so that's Stadia for you. Man, that took over an hour. Woo! That was what I was hoping for. Let's talk about some stuff here. So, if you guys are enjoying this show and you're getting value out of it, we'd like to thank you guys for throwing us money. We had a $10 donation on our last show. Anonymous, they're going to be an executive producer for episode 16 for this episode. They paid for this episode. So they get an executive producer credit. They want to remain anonymous. So, all right. But yeah, if you donate $10 or more, you'll get an executive producer credit on the show. We take all forms of donations. If you want to do some show artwork, promotional materials, voiceovers, music, sound clips, show notes, archiving, and effects, we love them all. Please consider helping us out. Shoot me an email, show@noobshelter.com. We'll give you a credit on the show and post your art on our website. Please also include your intent on allowing us to use said material so we don't get blocked for copyright. Again, show@noobshelter.com. You can shoot me a link. So, but yeah, so let's go into our next story. This is another one of mine. So you guys remember the game No Man's Sky? And all the bullshit that was surrounding it? It's still alive, and people are still playing it, and it has gotten better. I have played it. Anytime No Man's Sky puts out an update, I'm usually in the game for a couple days. I'm like a week, maybe 2 weeks.
Wait, how do you know people are still playing it? Isn't it extremely rare to run into anyone?
Right?
You don't run into anybody.
So how do you know people are playing it?
I don't know. I just know
for an online game that you never see anyone.
There's this thing called Reddit, and there's a No Man's Sky subreddit.
Schrodinger's game.
No, it's. But here's the kicker, okay?
You guys are assholes.
Because he's still able to play it. That's how he knows. That's the biggest indicator, because it's an online-only game, so he can go online and actually play it, which means the servers are still on because there's enough people still playing it.
He's got a point there.
Yep.
And there's also this thing called Reddit, and there's a subreddit for No Man's Sky, and everyone's always posting on there.
For a lot of things. That doesn't mean they exist.
Right?
How much have you had to drink there, mister?
Huh?
There's still a...
Oh, I hope
I'm pretty sure there's a Sasquatch and a unicorn subreddit.
Anyway, so No Man's Sky's still alive. Here's the kicker, John, to answer your question. They're finally... I'm a little bit pissed at this myself. They're finally giving us online multiplayer. It's one of 3 big updates coming as part of their Beyond chapter. So, Hello Games has announced No Man's Sky Beyond, the next free update. That's the other thing too. All their updates have been free. For its procedurally generated space exploration game. The game will consist of 3 components, but only one has been announced today, and that is online multiplayer. So you will be able to play with other people and explore new planets and stuff like that.
What was that?
I hit the beer bottle against the boom arm.
John, you need to pace yourself. Drink some water now, buddy.
Right.
What? That was one drink.
Must have been a good drink.
Oh, you're a lightweight then.
Anyway, so the next update adds multiplayer support for up to 16 players. Despite the name, the developer is quick to emphasize that the new update will not turn the game into an MMO. Beyond will be released for free to existing players and will not require a subscription fee to play, which is pretty cool.
You're telling me that they announced an online multiplayer game, but it's not going to be an MMO.
That's a massive multiplayer online. It pretty much what you can do is you can create a party of up to 16 players, and you guys can go out and explore.
Oh.
So, anyways, yeah, I'm excited for this. I will download the update. Polka.
What?
Somebody serenading you, John?
Maybe.
What? Is there polka music? I don't hear polka music.
Yeah, someone just drove through blasting their polka music.
What?
That is amazing.
The last time I heard polka was when my grandfather was still alive.
That's hilarious. Instead of rock or rap, which is rap would probably be the more likely of the two, or of the genres, they freaking blast polka. Oh man, I want to shake that person's hand. That would be hilarious.
Of course you have polka.
Why?
Opa! Okay. Well, I am Polish-Ukrainian, and my grandfather was a big polka fan. Although, I don't think that was real polka. I think that was like some bullshit synthesizer crap. Is there any actual real polka in here? Beer barrel polka. What's this?
What's actual polka though now?
There we go.
It has to have the accordion and the tuba. I think.
This is Frank Yankovic and his Yanks.
That
You know,
sounds terrible.
if we wanted real polka, it's only a couple hours away.
We'll have a barrel of wine.
Roll out the barrel.
We've got the blues on the run. Sing, roll.
All right, now that we
Very
just
nice.
chased away half of our freaking audience, the
This is
two that
not
we
a
had.
music show, dude.
Anyway, so No Man's Sky Beyond update. I don't see where did I miss when the update was coming out? Sometime this year, which stinks. But okay, it's coming, and I'm gonna be playing it because that's what I do.
Of course you are.
Hey, I really, if you guys haven't played it, you guys should come by one day and try it out. It's a really cool game. So I like it.
Maybe.
It's like advanced Minecraft.
Oh.
What?
In a way. It's not like build whatever the fuck you want. I mean, you can, but you can't. Like, there's certain things you can build, but it's like you can't build a gigantic. Well, yeah, if you have enough materials, you can probably build a gigantic space penis. But anyway, so
It's important.
So what's this other one we got here? Epic locks in 1 year exclusive for Outer Worlds. John, I think that was yours, right?
Yeah. Oh, that never dropped. There's your link, by the way.
Thank you. That's okay.
Failing here.
I blame the alcohol.
No, it was even in chat. I just never hit enter.
It was in his message box. He just forgot to hit the button.
Yep.
Your internet's shitty. Your internet's shitty.
So,
Anyways, I didn't mean to hit that button
I'm terribly
twice.
disappointed about this news. Obsidian, I guess now Microsoft, has partnered with Epic, the makers of Fortnite, for a 1 year exclusivity deal for when Outer Worlds comes out.
Douchebag!
It will also be released on the Windows Store because Microsoft owns Obsidian, and updates will be available through the Humble Store. But unlike what they previously advertised on the actual trailer that they dropped, where it had the Steam logo at the end next to Xbox and PlayStation, that will not be happening.
Wow. 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 Fucking wow. That is bullshit, man.
Yep. Yeah, it certainly
Holy shit. Epic has already made headlines for store exclusives. It managed to lock down, including Ubisoft's Tom Clancy: The Division 2, Metro Exodus, and Metro Exodus. Other exclusives are going to be Afterparty from Night School Studios, Control, The Cycle, Dauntless, Industries of Titan, Journey to the Savage Planet, Kine, Phoenix Point, Sinking City, Spellbreak, Solar Ash Kingdom. I have no idea who the hell any of these developers are. I have heard of Remedy and 505, but that's about it.
A couple of those sounded vaguely familiar to me too.
Yeah. So that's kind of messed up, man. I mean, why? You know, I got to look up this Outer Worlds because I've heard things.
It's basically Fallout New Vegas in space.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Fallout New Vegas in space.
Because Obsidian Entertainment were the original creators of the first 2 Fallout games and New Vegas.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. I thought it was all Bethesda.
So they created Fallout 2. They did not create Fallout 3, but they created New Vegas.
Yep.
Huh.
What?
Fallout New Vegas is what
Okay.
Fallout 3 was supposed to initially have been.
Okie dokie. That's
But Bethesda decided to do it all themselves in-house
all right. That makes sense.
and scrapped
Interesting.
the whole thing, and then we ended up getting New Vegas, which is why they started implementing the different faction systems and all that going forward after New Vegas. Is they're like, oh, hey, this is actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
Good to know. All right. So, fuck you. Fuck you, Obsidian, and, well, fuck you too, Epic Games.
And the really bad thing about it is the Epic launcher is extremely subpar compared to Steam. It's got vulnerabilities. They're constant.
Every launcher is subpar to Steam. Have you seen the Origin launcher and the Ubisoft launchers?
Well,
Yep.
yeah, but at least
They're
those
dog
are
shit.
actually better developed. The freaking Epic launcher looks like it was made in 1995.
I need to look at this launcher. That's the only launcher I haven't even installed. God, man, it's like a launcher for fucking everything. We have a Blizzard launcher, Origin launcher, Ubi launcher, Steam. Oh, God, it's like, man, guys, stay in your own lane. You develop games. You're not a distributor. Shit.
Well, that's the thing. They want to get into that, so they get the
Everybody
bigger cut.
wants to get into distribution, like Valve and Steam did, like Valve did. Just like everyone wants to get into fucking blockchain. Ugh. Fucking
Duh. Where the money is. That's
prediction
why.
number 6: blockchain's gonna fail and everyone's gonna lose their shit. Oh man, I want to talk about blockchain one day, but this is not the show for it. Now,
No, that's
what
another
else
show.
we got? I remember seeing this. Well, the aftermath of this one, where Gabe Newell, our portly god of gods over at Valve up in Bellevue, Washington, which is right up the street from where I live, about a couple 40 miles. It's actually down the street about like 2 miles from where I work. So, there was some email exchange going on. Why don't you, John, I believe you threw that in there. Why don't you go and take that one?
Yeah, so it looks like someone may have spoofed it and all that, but it really tore around the internet for a little bit. Basically, the email was saying, someone was asking, will I be able to play the new chapter of Half-Life before my life ends? And his response was, just don't die in the next 5 years or so. Which, of course, you know, everyone who wants Fallout 3 to hurry up and come out immediately took that as, 5 years.
Okay, and of course they backtracked, right?
Oh yeah, they're like Valve goes, that's not ours.
Huh.
And the video's been pulled.
Interesting. So somebody actually made a video announcement about that, and then they ripped the video. Oh, the Valve News Network.
Yep.
I need to check these guys out. That I got to see the competition there. Valve News Network, VNN. Is that similar to CNN with their bullshit news?
Probably.
I don't want to get into it, but oh my god, CNN is just like off the rails with things these days. Woo!
What else is new?
I mean, yeah, they're liberal, but oh my god, dude, like really? Talk about taking things to a next level. What else do we got going on here? So, Mike, looks like you're up, man. We got it all. You want to talk about the Maverick?
Yep. Going ahead and drop the first or the second link, not the first. Oh, yeah, second link, not the first.
Drop it like it's hot, John.
So I actually poked around a little bit over the last few days, and I stumbled upon Windows Central.
Windows
Central.
Right.
Windows Central. There's been a lot of released information regarding the new Xbox One S all digital, which was codenamed Maverick a while back, and it's pretty much just an Xbox One S without a disk drive. That's it. That's the only change between the two consoles.
So they ripped out the drive.
Yeah. And just created a top plate that goes over it that doesn't have the freaking slot. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Is it any smaller by chance?
No, the artwork the box work is box artwork, which is what the link actually shows as well. Looks like it's just an Xbox One S, and if they're advertising it as an Xbox One S, I would imagine it's the same dimensions.
Xbox One S all digital.
It wouldn't make any sense for them to shrink it, because they already have the production in the manufacturing.
Yeah,
the production
I guess
in for the Xbox One S. So if they're just taking the drive out and modifying the case a little bit, the outer casing a little bit, and then pushing that out, I mean, they're putting it out there at a cheaper price than the Xbox One S, which there have been regular sales with an Xbox One S 1 terabyte regular Xbox for $199. So it's been released that it's supposed to be the cheapest Xbox One console. But what really threw me off is the release date is set for early May. Link says May 9th.
What
they were saying they wanted to drop it before E3.
Yeah. What is the name of that spray that you can buy online or through TV? It's seen as on TV. That spray that is like a bonding, sprays plastic. It's like a can of liquid plastic or something. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Seal stuff.
Flex Seal.
Flex Seal, yeah.
Flex Seal. Is that what they put on top of the Xbox? They just sprayed Flex Seal over the
hole? No. Honestly, if you look at the box art, if you go to the link and look at the box art, it actually looks like they modified the outer casing of the Xbox, because that's where the slot was for the drive, and they just basically removed it. They didn't remove it, but they just didn't cut the slot out into the freaking casing for it.
Oh, okay. So they didn't machine it. I thought they used Flex Seal. That would have been
cool. Honestly, I would have laughed harder if what they did was they manufactured these little slot pieces that freaking go into the slot to cover it up.
Yeah.
And you pop the cover off and just...
All you need to do is just spray a nice, even
I
coating.
could just put a disc in here.
There we go.
You're going to see that as you spray, it's going to fill in all the cracks and holes. You don't want to put on too much at one time. You want to put a nice.
See, I'm watching a Flex Seal commercial, and he cut 2 diagonal lines with a chainsaw and a bucket.
To this.
And he's spraying it, and it's sealing it up really nice. Are we sure it's not Flex Seal?
We do layer after layer. It's going to fill.
Guess who wants this? I'm going to drop this link in here. It's pretty cool.
Well, we let it dry. It's time to put on another coat.
Where's the share? I'm gonna put it in there. Let me start it at that time.
You have issues, man.
No, whatever. Kiss my butt.
And giving people other videos to go watch instead of our show.
After our show, you're supposed to watch it after our show.
Right. Yeah, that's totally gonna keep people here.
Well, if you want to see a guy like chop a bucket with a chainsaw, I guess that's more entertaining than less. I got some last minute news that I threw in here. So Valve is, speaking of Valve, they're taking steps against Steam review bombs. This came out early in the week, really early. A review bomb, for those of you guys who don't know, it's a sudden influx of a large number of negative user reviews of a game. Usually, regardless of its actual quality, it's intended to discredit or punish its developer or publisher. Metro 2033 and Last Light are recent high-profile examples of this. I did not know that they were Steam bombed. Steam users who were unhappy with Deep Silver's decision to make Metro Exodus an Epic Store exclusive. Here we go. This is the correlation. Yep. Dropped thousands of negative reviews on its predecessors in Steam, enough to negatively impact their overall user ratings. Power to the people! Woo! Anyways, I hit the wrong button. Shit. So it's an inherent flaw in the user review system. Duh. Although some see it as a feature.
That's interesting because I know Rotten Tomatoes has actually had issues with their review system too.
Ghostbusters
they
2016
totally
is a perfect example. I remember hearing stories about that one. Woo!
Didn't we talk about that with Captain Marvel and them changing the whole Rotten Tomatoes review
I think
stuff
we
last
did.
time?
Yeah, we did.
Honestly, it actually doesn't surprise me because they had originally announced that it was going to be available on multiple platforms, so all on within multiple locations, including Steam, and then it comes out that they made a deal to make it exclusive through freaking Epic streaming freaking service bullshit like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, they got what was coming to them. They freaking went back on their goddamn word.
Yep, they did. Here's a quote from one of the Valve reps.
In a fucking year, for God's sakes. That's bullshit.
Here's a quote from one of the Valve reps. Players value reviews highly and want us to ensure that they're accurate and trustworthy. Developers understand that they are valuable to players, but want to feel like they're being treated fairly. Okay, well,
players also want to make sure they're
here's some advice.
The almighty dollar.
Here's some advice. If you're gonna take one of your most popular game franchises and make it exclusive on one platform, turn off your feedback. Like, see if Valve can turn off the feedback, because it's coming down the shit pipe for you.
Yeah.
I mean, because
if you announced previously that would
they try to email you, and you have some intern emailing them back. Thank you for your email. We'll take it into consideration. They go onto the message boards and nobody ever reads that. I mean, yeah, it is complete and total absolute bedlam. They got no place to go. They're gonna go. They're gonna go to the review sites.
New Diablo.
What?
Reminds me of the new Diablo trailer.
New Diablo trailer? Did I miss something there?
Oh, that was a while back.
Oh yeah, okay.
All the negative comments and the downvotes, they took it down, put it back up, and yeah.
Wow. So anyways, after collecting feedback and analyzing data as it does, Valve has announced plans to tackle the problem by identifying review bombings and excluding them from overall review scores. The process for doing so will begin with a new automated tool, namely an intern, that will identify anomalous review activity on all Steam games in as close to real time as possible. When a problem is detected, a team at Valve will be notified and will investigate further. Another quote from another Valve head: once our team has identified the anomalous activity is an off-topic review bomb, we will mark the time period it encompasses and notify the developer. The reviews within that time period will then be removed from the review score calculation. Ouch. So somebody actually gives a good review that's not part of that, it's not gonna calculate it. It's like a black wall. It's like, here's all the good reviews. We're gonna put a big old veil. We're gonna spray some Flex Seal on top of the rest of the shit. and you can't see it.
Here we go.
We've come full circle.
Right.
That was the perfect full circle. Come on.
All right, so let's go this by section right now. That was kind of freaking stupid, but I think it's actual bullshit that they're doing this because these review bombs are, gamers' ways of being able to reach out directly to a developer and voice their displeasure.
Right.
If there was a different way of being able to do that where they'd actually freaking listen, then maybe, we'd have a better shot, but there isn't.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
And
I like how the one thing that pisses me off is these companies use the term automated. It's not automated. You have a pimply, nasally brat of an intern sitting at a desk with one monitor and like an old clunky keyboard and a mouse, like just going through the stuff and like, yeah, I found something. There is no AI. AI is a lie.
It probably auto flags anything one star.
Back end. On top of that, okay, to address what you were talking about positive reviews, I have no doubt
that's my main
if
concern.
they see a review bomb, it's not going to flag positive reviews.
Well, what I'm getting from what I read here, from what they said, is that once our team has identified that anomalous activity is an off-topic review bomb, we will mark the time period it encompasses and notify the developer. The reviews within that time period will then be removed from the review score calculation.
Yeah, so that tells me that if
somebody within
a negative rating or review, I have no doubt that they have the ability to discern between a positive and negative. So the review bomb.
Well, just the way that they spoke that, because that was a direct quote, just the way that they said that made me think at first that like anything with any reviews within this time period, we're not going to count, even if it is a good review. They should have said that, but
honestly, that would be stupid if they do remove all reviews, whether they're positive or negative. It would be shooting themselves in the foot.
I'll be shooting the developers in the foot. Steam doesn't care. Steam don't give a shit.
Well, yeah, they do, because they get money from this shit.
Yeah, but they don't care about the reviews, man. The game sucks. It's your fault, developer. You're going to make something exclusive and they're going to review bomb you. That's, at first it was, that's your fault, developer, but now we're going to step up and we're going to scratch your back a bit. Just don't make shit exclusive anymore, Valve's doing this. Valve's doing this to suck the teat of these developers to be like, oh, we got your back. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Just, remember that we did this for you when you go to make your next exclusive game announcement over on the so-called Epic launcher. Just remember that. But we got your back. Don't worry. It's okay.
God, that was ridiculous.
Okay.
I can't believe that.
Yeah. Anyway, so, off-topic content will include obvious things such as storefront changes, exclusive publishing deals, and also complaints that are related to but not actually about games, including the presence of DRM and changes to the ULA, to the ULAs. Valve said the general... EULA, thank you. Valve said... ULA! EULA.
Ooh la la.
Valve said the general Steam user doesn't really care about that sort of thing, and so for most users, review scores are more accurate than those complaints are if those complaints are excluded. And users who do get into it at that level are often more willing to dig a little deeper before making their purchases. Okay, talking about reviews for a second, because this is interesting that they said this. I am that guy that digs deep into reviews before I make a purchase. I know, smart, and I'm sure you guys do it too, like if I go on Amazon or buy something, to separate the wheat from the chaff, the bullshit from the bullshit. All right, I can tell if somebody's an automated bullshitter or if they're a legit bullshitter. Okay, example.
Don't quit your day job.
Okay, let me rephrase. I can tell if a review's real or fake. I have a keen eye for this stuff. A lot of people will make positive reviews because they get free shit or they're paid
if it's
people.
Real, then it's not bullshit.
But the one cool thing that Amazon does do, Oh, and we're going to talk about this real quick. I got a quick shot for this. Is they have that little thing that says authorized purchase or like authentic purchase or whatever, that little badge down below each review that shows you that somebody actually bought the item.
Yeah.
You can't have that unless you had that in your orders list. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I go through and I read and I'm like, okay, and I eventually will either buy or not buy the item. If I don't buy the item, then whatever, I don't buy it. If I do buy the item and the item's awesome, then hey, cool. I made a great judgment call. If I do buy the item and the item sucks, then, that was my fault, buyer's remorse. I made that mistake once where I bought a size 3X jacket, and I got it and it would not fit over me. And I found out that the size was European size.
Wow.
And that American 3X is actually like European 5 or 6X over there. It's like 5XXXXX or some shit. So, and that was my fault for not reading the reviews. That was my bad. But yeah, so we do that. We get that, and I appreciate Steam taking the pleasure and whatnot of, or taking the time to care about us and go through and do the same thing, separate the wheat from the chaff for us. But, I'm not dumb. I'm cool. I can figure it out. So, going into, it's going to be calling it short here in just a bit. Going into quick shots, I do want to talk about my quick shot first. I don't have a link for this, but this is a story that I heard that I just want to throw in there. People are getting Amazon packages delivered to them that they never ordered. You guys hear this?
Interesting. No.
There was a story on King 5. Our local news station for you people that don't live in the Seattle, Tacoma area, where a house full of roommates, they were being sent, it's like 4 people, they were being sent packages that they didn't order from Amazon delivered to their house. Now, this is not an isolated incident. Other people were like, hey, have come forward and saying, yeah, the same thing's happening to me. Like, I'm getting all these weird packages and stuff like that from Amazon. Amazon's been looking into it, and they have determined, or there's speculation that certain companies, mostly ones overseas, are sending people at random packages of their items for free, just so they would hopefully go online and give it a good review.
Interesting.
I have not seen a damn thing.
Here's the kicker to this too. The tracking numbers on the packages are invalid. I will find the story and I will bring it next show. But that's spooky. The only thing I can say is, why the hell isn't that happening to me? I want free shit.
Yeah, but if
send me stuff.
If it's being reported like this, it's more than likely free shit you don't want.
Well, some people are like, oh, I got like slippers, or I got like bath beads, or I got like mascara, stuff, weird like not weird shit like boxes of poo or bags of gummy dicks or anything like that. It's like practical stuff. It's just they didn't order it. So that was a
still suspect.
Interesting quick shot.
Yeah.
So let's go to another quick shot here that we have. I believe it was, who was this? John? Was this you?
Yeah.
Oh, please tell us.
Too, but I think John got to it before I did.
Tell me. I want to hear this. This is so great.
So, for a little while, there was a time when a lot of the music on MySpace, like the last 12 years, it was somewhere between 12 and 16 years, the music just wouldn't be playable.
Hang on. Real quick, to our listeners who have no idea what the hell a MySpace is, MySpace was the Facebook back in the day, before Facebook was really a thing.
Facebook before Facebook.
It was Facebook before Facebook. Everybody was on MySpace. I remember. All right, John, continue.
Yeah, so the music wasn't playable. It wouldn't give an error or anything. It would just sit there trying to play. Or it would just skip the music altogether. Then, all of a sudden, it disappeared. MySpace, during a server migration event, as they want to call it, lost 12 years of music. Everything before, I want to say it was like 2013. Let's see, let me drop this link here. They lost everything from 2003 to 2015.
Whoa!
Oh my god, that is amazing!
I couldn't help myself, I'm sorry.
What I want to know is why the hell is this news? Who's still on MySpace?
MySpace switched back. It actually, after the popularity dropped off, they made a resurgence as a social media thing for artists, musicians to get their music out.
Artists and
Back
musicians,
to what it was.
Yeah, it's back to its original roots. And Tom is still everybody's friend on MySpace.
Of course he is.
Oh my god, that's messed up though.
Because that's the only way he can get friends.
And I guess MySpace is just like, I don't give a shit. Oh, may I remind you though, the reason why they really don't give a shit is because back in 2005 they were bought by News Corp.
Yeah.
Do we all know who News Corp is? Yes, we do. It's Fox. It's Rupert Murdoch.
Douchebag. Along that line, so.
Ooh,
Fox
another quick shot. Yes.
Was bought out by Disney.
Woo!
Wrong button. 24 hours later. Not 24 hours later, Rupert Murdoch himself announced that he was going to debut a new station similar to Fox.
Yep. Yep. All right, so here's how that works. This is another good quick shot we can do real quick. Dissect this real quick. So, and it is technology based, so we'll get into that. Here's the thing. So, Disney bought 21st Century Fox, bought all the IPs. The only thing that didn't take with them was Fox News, Fox Business, Fox Sports. Fox News, Business, Sports is still owned by News Corp.
Mm-hmm.
Disney owns 21st Century Fox, Fox Searchlight Pictures, the picture stuff, and any IPs. The best part about that is Disney, who owns Marvel, just sucked up every fucking goddamn Marvel character that Fox owned.
Yep.
And brought him back in. Here's the other best part. Disney,
We're not
Bob Iger says
another Firefly. I'm sorry, Matt. I already know you're going to
No,
go there.
no.
It makes me just as sad.
No, I know we're not getting another Firefly. My heart's broken. This is what I'm talking about. Bob Iger has said that Deadpool is not going bye-bye. They are not done with Deadpool yet as a rated R movie.
Good.
Oh, that's good.
And
Although
Ryan Reynolds
bad.
posted a picture of Deadpool on a school bus wearing a Mickey Mouse hat to celebrate. But I can guarantee after Endgame, the MCU is going to change. They're gonna bring in the mutants. We're gonna get X-Men. We're gonna get Fantastic Four. We're gonna get all of it. I mean, they could bring in Fantastic Four anytime they want now because that's easy. You know, send them up to space to get superpowers. That's what they did with Captain Marvel and everybody else. You know, well, not everybody else, but Captain Marvel.
I just want to see Deadpool come in at the end of Endgame,
that
break the fourth wall, go, hey, watch what I can do, and then just end the battle. What took you guys so long?
Why was this so drawn out?
Right?
That would be so awesome. He just comes out and he's like, he looks at Thanos like, pow! And Thanos drops and be like, do you not remember, Thor, what he said?
Have beef. They're both fighting for the affection of Lady Death.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But here's the thing, like, you know, here's the scene. Here's the setup scene. Bob Iger, if you're watching this, which you're not, here's what you're going to do for the end of Endgame, okay? It's 0 hour. Our heroes are facing impossible odds. Thanos is there. They somehow reversed everything and need to stop Thanos from doing it again. Thor, once again, repeats history, hits him in the freaking shoulder or his arm with the freaking axe. Thanos looks up and says, "You should have aimed for the head." And then all of a sudden you see a gun point to Thanos' head. Bam! He's down, and it's Deadpool saying, "Just listen to the man. You should have aimed for his head." And then he just walks away. And that's the end of the movie. Credits roll. That's beautiful.
No, he'd have to go and put one more and make a comment about double tap and then leave.
Oh, yeah. Well, end, credits roll, cut back to the scene of Thanos on the ground. Bam! There's your double tap.
There you go.
Okay. So, all right, man. I think we're
Something
good.
Disconnected.
That was me. That was my
Oh.
freaking Adobe doing my thing. We're done. Anybody got anything else?
Yes, well.
What you got?
Lit.
The fuck is that?
Glow pigment.
Oh,
The glowiest glow pigment in both blue and green.
look at that. That's cool.
Let's see. Can I?
Certain things, because he's just talking about his pigmentation. It's not racist if you're talking about it in pigmentation. Blue pigment, green pigment. I love all pigmentation. I love my brothers and sisters. So, anyways, thank you all for joining us for another episode of the Noob Shelter. Next week, hopefully, I will be back with part 2 of my Earthbound streaming series. And then the week after that, we have another show. So, yeah, thank you, Ruby Jean. You have a good night as well. And thank you to all of our listeners, everybody out there watching us. This is the Noob Shelter. Stay tuned for our end of show. Good night.
I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To trade them is my curse. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each hook I'm on to understand the power that's inside. Hook I'm on, gotta catch them. It's you and me. I know it's my best hook I'm on. Oh, you're my best friend in a world we must defend. Hook I'm on, gotta catch them. So true.
The Obama cuts were better.
Our courage will pull us through. You hate me, and I'll hate you. Hook I'm on.
Bye.
Killed my
Gli
enemy.
amici della vedetta ammirata da tutti noi che saremo proprio della nostra cultura saranno nati.
Net, scalps.